took a selfie at a red light while driving. I think that's illegal now.
If you're looking for a good read, then hit the library. And if you're looking for bonfire material, then check out these collections of words.
Dominoes falling right in the street.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 worst celebrity books.
I'm Snooki. I'm here to see my book publisher.
You have ID?
I'm Snooki.
For this list, we're counting down the most offensive and somewhat disturbing pieces of prose that have been released by delusional celebrities.
Is everything okay?
No, actually, everything's not okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're not saying they don't have talent per se, we're just asking WTF.
It's all the pretty photos in case you guys don't like reading.
Number 10, Selfish by Kim Kardashian West.
He needs a shot. He'll be dropped. Okay, Mom?
They're totally in there making fun of me. They're like imitating me, making fun of me. I overheard them.
If you're looking for signs of the impending apocalypse, look no further than this New York Times bestseller.
You were nice enough, you can see the black pages here are the ones where you're naked and in a bra.
I think girls, to be honest, they take a lot of nude selfies.
With the description touting Kim Kardashian as a modern-day personification of Marilyn Monroe and the trailblazer of the selfie moment,
banish this.
You can't really blame mindless consumers for making the reality star even more famous.
I always take some pics at a photo shoot before I go out on set to make sure my glam is on point.
Well, you can actually, and considering both the visual and selfish essence of the book, the term classic Hollywood would soon have an entirely different meaning for tainted millennial minds.
I just want to say, you're the most disgusting human being on this planet. Shame on you for supporting the fur industry.
Number 9, Not Afraid of Life, My Journey So Far, by Bristol Palin with Nancy French.
And you had to tell your mom and dad. What was that like?
Harder than labor. It was one of the hardest things you'll ever have to go through.
With all due respect to Sarah Palin's oldest daughter, one cannot be afraid of life's obstacles, yet still be fully capable of writing a terrible and deeply hypocritical book.
I hope that if a young girl's reading the book, I hope that she sees the foolish decisions that I've made and can say, okay, I shouldn't do that, I should avoid that.
In 2011, at the ripe old age of 21, Bristol Palin didn't exactly earn comparisons of Emily Bronte for her extensive look back at life's challenges. And hey, nobody was expecting a master class on prose.
I wondered why it was called Losing Your Virginity, because it felt more like it has been stolen.
Oh! But given the widely publicized events that surrounded the book, it didn't seem like Miss Palin was the ideal woman to be offering advice to young ladies. But she did it anyway.
You think you're...
Number 8, Begone, Demons, by Saddam Hussein.
Yes, I can change, I can change. I know I've been a dirty little bastard. I like to kill, I like to make it. I'm insane, but it's okay, because I can change.
Most people know the 5th president of Iraq for his love affair with chaos, murder, and manipulation. Oh, and also murder.
منو اللي ضرب؟ ما حد ضرب، ما حد ضرب. تجاهل؟ ما حد ضرب. شنو السياسة؟ ما حد ضرب. هو احنا ليش مجرمين شنو واقفين؟ لا.
But in certain literary circles, Saddam Hussein boasts a reputation as the author of 4 books. His final release, entitled Begone, Demons, could be best described as a Euphrates River epic. And the piece of political fiction was actually published by a Japanese outlet. Undoubtedly all the rage on the streets of Tokyo in 2006. What we know is this: Begone, Demons was aptly titled. Number 7, The Truth About Diamonds, by Nicole Richie.
Can I drink wine here? What's my swim party style? What's my watching a 90s erotic thriller style?
So, you want to know the truth about diamonds, do ya? Well, please allow the daughter of Lionel Richie to break it down.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
Here is 240 pages of fiction about a young woman named Chloe Parker who manages to overcome the odds of a privileged lifestyle fueled by hard drugs and Hollywood parties in order to see the proverbial light.
Yeah. And is it likely that, I don't know the details of your problems, but is prison a likelihood, or is it, am I...
Yeah.
Really?
And given that the semi-autobiographic work managed to reach the New York Times bestseller list, it's clear that many consumers need to read more books.
This book sucks.
Number 6, Junior, by Macaulay Culkin.
My name is Macaulay Culkin, and I just finished pizza.
It's long been a cliche for young writers to immediately reference their therapist, both in conversation and literary works of art. You know, because they're tortured souls.
Everyone in this family hates me.
Then maybe you should ask Santa for a new family.
I don't want a new family. I don't want any family. Families suck.
But the star of Home Alone and lead singer of the Pizza Underground does exactly that for just a description of his bizarre exploration of the titular character's life, which may or may not also be the life of Macaulay Culkin. If you make the conscious decision to read this book, all you really need to know is that Macaulay's an artiste, and you'll surely recognize the fact that he's some type of mad genius, considering the 7 endings.
I mean, I still have nightmares about, like, this bald weirdo dude chasing me around, talking like Yosemite Sam. I'm gonna pull your fingernails out. I'm gonna get you, you little scam. They don't even curse. Calling me, like, louse and shit like that. It's... wow.
Number 5, Hooking Up with Tila Tequila, A Guide to Love, Fame, Happiness, Success, and Being the Life of the Party, by Tila Tequila.
Chapter 1, Sluts.
Okay, so if the title of this buxom reality stars book doesn't piss you off, the content most certainly will. How many of you actually desire life advice from Tila Tequila? And if so, why?
What the is that?
Mike in a box.
Well, regardless of reader intent, the Madonna of MySpace did actually take the time to write some type of bizarre guide for all those seeking a continuous downward spiral into madness.
Why are people enraged by you? What is going on?
I don't know. Last year was a pretty crazy time.
It's only 176 pages long, but it may just provide you with a lifetime of regret. Number 4, Confessions of a Guidette, by Nicole, better known as Snooki, Polizzi.
This little shrimp thing is like bopping around in the circle and like doing her thing, doing backwards flips, like with her thong hanging out, her whole crotch is in the air.
When you think of MTV's reality series Jersey Shore, the written word probably doesn't immediately come to mind, unless you imagine a drunk Guidette peeing her name on the sidewalk.
Tell me more.
Even so, our favorite little Snooki, or someone's favorite little Snooki, decided to write a book in 2011 because, well, maybe because Jersey Shore was about to conclude and it was a logical step for a reality star.
Guidettes are born with attitude. It doesn't matter if you're tall, skinny, or a smurf. We friggin' put on our bronzer and rock our princess status.
It seemed difficult for the average woman to connect with Snooki upon the release. Well, unless that woman was one of her castmates. Snooki, 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 you broke our heart.
Get it off of me!
Number 3, Starstruck, a novel, by Pamela Anderson.
You a little sick moose around?
Me! Whoa, no!
Oh my God, Mitch, I'm sorry. I was just so surprised to see you standing there.
This may sound harsh, but when a sex symbol includes a phrase, a novel, in the actual title of her novel, well, you can probably expect a hot mess of a book. With the cover featuring the author in the nude, Pamela Anderson resorts to an alter ego for a fictionalized tale about stuff we already know.
In a minute, they're gonna play. Are you ready? Christina, I'm ready, man. I'm bad.
With character names like Starwood Leia and Jimmy Deeds, one may be inclined to believe that an actual porn star had little free time and decided to string a few words together and call it a book.
And she's amazing, especially her work with the one-eyed trouser snake, which she did
a few years ago.
But no, it was Pamela Anderson, and she's definitely not a porn star. She's a sex tape star turned author.
Oh, by the way, Pam, you still, hands down, have got the best sex tape ever.
Number 2, Making Waves, the Autobiography by David Hasselhoff. Some people stand in the darkness, afraid to step into the light. Yeah, and some people need to have somebody with a tiny bit of literary insight.
You know, Al told me recently that being underwater was like floating in liquid heaven.
For crying out loud, David Hasselhoff, how can you write a book with an obvious reference to Baywatch in the title and then open it up with a reference to Martin Luther King Jr.?
I'm crazy for you.
Sure, the book works if you imagine the Hoff stroking an imaginary beard by the fire while writing with a stiff glass of scotch, but other than that, it makes for a good table coaster, or perhaps to provide that extra spark to your living room fire. Seriously.
Whoa, crawling from the ashes, the phoenix rise again, fighting for life, for good, for all that we believe in.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Confessions of an Heiress, a tongue-in-chic peek behind the pose by Paris Hilton and Merle Ginsberg.
We're supposed to wake up the cows by ringing the bells. Who knew you could wake up a cow with a bell?
Okay, so we all know that true artists may not be appreciated during their lifetime, and perhaps Paris Hilton will ultimately be regarded as a female icon of the 21st century reality TV literature. But until that narrative arrives, we'll say this. Any book by a well-to-do celebrity that begins with confessions in the title screams out, "Please don't buy my book." Keep in mind that when Paris Hilton released Confessions of an Heiress, she wasn't the pop culture Paris that we know now. She was just some rich princess spouting off about her awesome life. So, we ask all of you, MsMojoholics, real talk or Barbie talk?
Even though the gods are crazy, even though the stars are blind, if you show me real love, baby, I'll show you mine.
Do you agree with our list?
Okay. Not.
What celebrity book do you think is the absolute worst?
Tip number 1, less is not more, more is more.
For more mind-blowing top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to MsMojo.
Kim, do you know how many animals are tortured and killed for your jackets? Do you know how many animals are skinned alive and anally electrocuted?